Why inflation can stay high. Even when unemployment is low, most people assume something simple. If almost everyone has a job, the economy must be healthy. And if the economy is healthy, prices shouldn't be rising too fast. But in recent years, many advanced economies experienced something unusual. Unemployment was near historic lows. Yet inflation was high. So how can prices keep rising when most people are employed? In this video, we'll explain why low unemployment does not automatically stop inflation, what actually drives inflation in this situation, and what policymakers try to do about it. Imagine a small town. Almost everyone in the town has a job. People earn income, they spend money. But the town only has a limited number of goods. Only a few grocery stores, only a few builders, only a few suppliers. If demand rises faster than supply, prices increase. That is the core idea behind inflation. Inflation happens when demand for goods and services grows faster than the supply of those goods and services. Low unemployment usually means people have income to spend. In the United States, consumer spending accounts for about 68% of total economic output. When employment is strong, spending tends to stay strong. But supply does not always adjust quickly. After the pandemic, supply chains were disrupted. Energy prices rose sharply. In 2022, inflation in the United States peaked above 9%. In Australia, inflation rose above 7%. Even while unemployment fell close to 3.5%, one of the lowest levels in decades. The labor market was strong. But prices were still rising. Why? Because inflation is not just about jobs, it is about balance. There is another layer. When unemployment is very low, businesses may struggle to find workers. If labor becomes scarce, wages tend to rise. When wages rise, businesses face higher costs. To protect margins, they may increase prices. Low unemployment can therefore add inflation pressure if the labor market is tight enough. But inflation can also come from outside the labor market. If oil prices rise globally, transportation costs increase. Food becomes more expensive. Imported goods cost more. Even with low unemployment, these supply shocks can push prices higher. So what can be done? Central banks cannot create more oil. They cannot fix global supply chains overnight. But they can influence demand. When inflation rises, central banks increase interest rates. Higher rates make borrowing more expensive. Mortgage payments rise. Business loans cost more. Spending slows. The goal is to reduce demand so it better matches supply. Governments can also act. They can support supply by encouraging investment in energy, infrastructure, or labor participation. They can reduce bottlenecks. They can avoid excessive stimulus when the economy is already strong. Over time, inflation tends to fall when supply recovers and demand cools. That process can take months or even years. The key idea is simple. Low unemployment does not automatically prevent inflation. If demand is strong, supply is constrained, and costs are rising, prices can continue increasing. Inflation is a system outcome. It reflects the balance between spending, production, labor, and costs. Understanding that system makes the headlines less confusing. If you found this explanation useful, consider subscribing. This channel explores how economic, business, and investment systems work and why they behave the way they do.